Hey Lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my old and new subbies. I'm so glad to have you all here with me today. And we're going to jump into our first project, starting with these two little wooden flowers from Dollar Tree. I'm sure they still have them. As you guys know, if you've been with me anytime, we are crafting from our stash. So basically I'm just removing the sticker and the jute twine, the hanger twines on both of them. Because we're not going to need them. Well, just removing the sticker. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to give them each a coat of white paint. And then we're going to go in using these super cute wall decals from Dollar Tree. If you guys have not checked them out, go check them out. I picked these up a few months ago and they have all kind of new ones. I didn't get everyone, but I just really got the ones that I really like, and the cherry blossoms were like the pick of the pick. So if you haven't gone over, go check them out. I think they're super cute this year. So what I'm gonna do right here is I'm just gonna line these up kind of on the outside of each of these because they're gonna come together to make one sign. So I'm just going to go in and clip away that excess. Now you can definitely sand this away as well. I just, it was so minimal. I just didn't feel like fussing with the finger sander. You couldn't even really tell, and you could kind of even just, excuse me, I got the hiccups. You can lay it down and just Mod Podge it as well. So here I'm going to take another portion of this. I was going to do the top side of this for the other side, but I was like, let's go with the bottom portion because it has a little bit more gold in it. The flowers are spread out a little bit, and I just kind of wanted to switch it up a bit too. I didn't want them to matchy, So I'm going to lay that down. And again, we're going to have some excess. And so that's not going to go to waste. At first, I was going to just leave it like this, but you guys will see where I'll switch it up in just a few seconds here. So just like on that other one, I'm going to remove that little bit of excess that's hanging over, just kind of nipping at it. I really could have used the finger sander here, guys. I don't know. Y'all know my brain. But nonetheless, I am just clipping away again. And I'm sorry I left so much of that in there. You've seen one clip, you've seen them all. All right. So once we get that done, so right here, I was like, okay, this will be enough for now. But once I put them together, how I was envisioning this, it didn't quite work out how I wanted. But so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to take one of these crafting sticks. You can get these from, I know they used to have them at Dollar Tree, but I know for sure you can find them at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. I've had mine forever, and but you can definitely find those at those two locations if you don't see them at Dollar Tree. Now I'm taking this super huge butterfly. Guys, if you've been here with me anytime, you know since the beginning, since I've started my channel, I love butterflies, bows, and hearts. And I have this butterfly, and I have thought of many different ways of how I wanted to use this. And every time I backed out, but I found these two flowers and I was like, okay, we're gonna make this work with our jumbo butterfly. So right here is where I take those leftover pieces of the cherry blossoms, put them right there because I felt like that white was too stark behind the butterfly. So next, what we're gonna do before we adhere the butterfly to the sign, and I'm not too worried about that jumbo crafting stick there in the middle. As you saw, the butterfly is going to pretty much cover that up, and it's also going to be used for additional surface to make sure that that butterfly stays in place. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and add a hanger to our sign. I'm so excited about this. This is going to be on my bedroom door. And I'm just cutting down this jute rope from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to glue this to the back. Now, again, if you guys have been with me for any amount of time, you've seen me do this time and time again when I do my signs. I don't do a whole lot of signs on my channel, but if you've been riding with me, you've seen me do this before. So basically what I do is just cut down that jute twine, and then what we're going to do for the front part of this piece to cover up those holes, we're going to go ahead and make some faux knots to make it appear as if that jute twine is coming through. So all you do, and I just had a scrap piece of jute rope left over from another project, and so I'm just trying to utilize every little bit of pieces that I have. And so once I get that knot going, and it was just enough to make 2 knots, so I got really lucky with that. I'm really fussing with it here, sorry, but I was just trying to make sure it was super tight. And so once I get that done, I just go ahead and glue that right over that hole, and it just looks like the jute twine is coming through, which I think is super cool. So that's what we do right there. And now we're going to go ahead and add on oh, I was getting off the dust, like, because from me cutting the jute twine, it left some little dust behind, so I was just clearing that off. So right here is where I'm just going to add in some hot glue. This is a super lightweight piece, so not a whole lot of heavy duty glue was needed right here. And then I'm just going to adjust the wings. That's the super cool part about this. They have wire in it, so you can adjust the wings however you want. And I love this. I absolutely love this. Now I will admit I was a little concerned that maybe the cherry blossoms wouldn't flow, but on the tip of the wings, it kind of looked like it's coming, like it's camouflaging to the backdrop. And I just love this. I really, absolutely love this. It was so easy and so simple. I hope you guys like it too. So we're going to jump into project number 2. And this is just a little storage unit, guys. I'm using this. It's actually called a wood drainer, and I got this from Daiso some years ago. It did come 2 in a pack. If you're in the LA area, definitely go check out Daiso. They have some pretty cool stuff, especially wood pieces there. And I got 2 pieces of this for $1.75. And then the little wood crates, of course, came from Dollar Tree. So all you see I'm doing right here is I'm just staining this piece. Now I'm not too concerned about the back of this. If you were to recreate this, and if you don't have a Daiso, you could definitely do this with wood dowels or with paint stir sticks and get the same effect. So right here I'm just going in the creases of the little crates just to darken them up. It was kind of blotchy in there, and I just wanted it to blend a little bit more. And I was gonna leave this natural at first, but I was like, let's add a little color to it, because other hanging pieces or storage pieces in my craft room they are mostly wood or white. So I was like, let's darken it up to kind of blend with the other stuff that I have in there. And I didn't want to paint it white because I was going to be putting little stuff in here that would probably mess it up. But what I did decide to do is just do a dry brush over it with some white paint, just to give it that distressing look. And I'm going to do that for both of the crates, as you can see, and I'm also going to do it for the that slated piece right there. So and I went in it wasn't too heavy. I just really wanted to lighten it up, just again to kind of blend with what was already in my craft room. So once I got it to my liking, I have this little 6-inch wood plank from Dollar Tree that I did paint in white paint off camera. I didn't paint the back of that either. And so what I'm going to do is make this as our sign. So from my Cricut Joy, I just cut out the words that says random stuff I really need. So we all have a whole bunch of little jars and doodads and things like that we really need. We don't know when we're gonna need them, but we need them, so we don't ever throw it away. So I was like, okay, you know what, I have like 3 or 4 of these sitting on my crafting table. Let's just find a centralized place for them. You're gonna see me style this with paint, and that was only because that is what was the closest to me at that time and just easier for me to put in there instead of going through all my little doodads and stuff. So that's what you're gonna see me put in there. So once I get this down, oh, and I got a little heavy there, and I aggressive when I pull that transfer tape back, and I tore the end on there. So I'm just replacing it. It didn't go back on perfect, but this is for me and it's okay. I'm not perfect, so my sign is not perfect. It's all good, right? All right, so once we get that done, we're just going to go ahead and glue that to the top of our little storage unit here, and get that in place as well. And I'm trying not to be so silly. Someone left me a sweet comment on my last video and said there was too much silliness in my video, and you know, I didn't let it bother me. I just hope they find a channel that, you know, is more serious for them, or more to their liking. You know, on this channel, I love to laugh because crafting is my happy place. It is what brings me the most joy. And, you know, my day-to-day is serious enough. So if I can bring a little silliness and a little laughter, I'm going to do it. So I hope that person finds what they're looking for in their crafting journey. You know, I pray that they find that. So as you guys saw there, I almost put it on backwards because why? Because I'm May. But I did catch it before I glued it down, as you can see. And it stands up on its own. I didn't add any feet or anything to it, but that's pretty much it for this project. Something super simple. And even if you don't have that backing, Lovies, you can just glue 2 or 3 of those crates together and accomplish the same thing. Again, this is just a holding place for that random stuff that we just don't toss out. All right, so we're moving on to terracotta teacup, number 90, Lovies. All right, and what I'm showing you right here is I'm taking one of my terracotta teacups that I used in a previous project that I didn't glue the theme down, and I was going to be using the same colors for this particular one. So I was like, okay, I was being particularly lazy this night. Had a rough day, and I was just like, you know, I'm kind of ready to wrap this up. And so I remembered that I had this one in gold and black, and I was like, okay, we'll just build from here. Worst case scenario, I'll create another one off camera in black and gold, and use that for the other one that I took this one from. I know that's a lot to unravel, but what you see I'm doing right here is taking this wood round. I'm taking some of my gold leaf rub and buff and just covering the top of that. And then I have 2 tower tumbling blocks right here that I'm going to stain in that burnt umber, which is just burnt umber paint by Apple Barrel. That's what I like to use for a stain. It's just my choice, my preference. You can use any stain with this, but for those who are joining us for the first time on this channel, we have been doing a series called the Terracotta Teacup series, where we take a terracotta pot, add a handle to it, add a theme to it, and we are calling them terracotta teacups. And we are on number 90. We are on the road to 100. And so it has been quite a journey. We've been doing it a little over a year, but today's theme is a graduation theme. I was like, I didn't do one last year, but I remember I had this little, it's not trinkets, but I can't think of the word for them. But I'm going to call them trinkets, little trinkets that I had got from Michael's in their clearance section. And it was a graduation theme. So it had like the cap and gown, the cap, not the gown, which is what I'm going to be making here, which really turned out kind of to look like a little bit of a robe. But I need y'all to use y'all imagination on this one, okay? Y'all know the drill. Just kind of, you know, receive it and you know, because in the end, it's not even actually going to be seen. You'll see like parts of it, but you won't see the whole thing. So I think it served its purpose. So I'm just taking some felt, from Dollar Tree, cut it down into a simple square there, and I'm just going to wrap it around this pig person. But it had like the diploma in it, and it had a little congratulations signs on it. So I was like, okay, I have this, let me just go ahead and make it here. What else am I going to use it for? So all I do with this, as you saw with the little peg person or wood person or whatever you want to call those, I think they're peg dolls, but I just stained that in the burnt umber as well. And now I'm just wrapping the felt I keep wanting to call it felt around this, and I'm just trimming it down. Now it's not perfect, guys, by any means. I tried to think of a way of how to make the gown, but I just, my mind wasn't in it 100%, and so this is kind of where I landed. So then next I had this gold braided twine in my stash as well, and we're just going to put that down the front to kind of mimic the zipper for the robe. So again, it, you know, it was I mean, it was supposed to be the gown, but it looked more like a robe. But at the top of it, I just added a half pearl bead there, and yeah, it's not the best. I know it's not the best, so don't come for me, Lovies. You know, it was just the best I could do at that moment, okay? So right here, the little tassel fell off of the cap, so I'm just adding a little bead of hot glue here just to put it in place, because the string for it was super thin, and so I was trying not to put too much of the glue on there. I didn't want it to get on the hat itself, so I hope it stands up. If not, nobody's really going to be touching it, but there you have it. And so we're going to add that right to the top of our little peg doll. We're just going to use some hot glue again. This is just in the event with this particular teacup. Normally I'm just going to use hot glue basically to assemble it, because like I said, in the event that I want to take it apart and put it back to the original one, or if I want to, you know, just disassemble this one, I don't want it to break or anything like that. So I just want to be able to easily take it apart. So here I'm adding in the little diploma on the shoulder of the peg doll, but I am going to remove it because once I assemble this, you won't really be able to see it. So that's the little sign right there, and it had a little bending part on the back of it. I'm not sure what that was supposed to be for, but we're gonna just put it like a sign in front of the podium. So I'm gonna add on this wood medallion, and that's going to be on our base, and then we're going to put the little congratulations piece right towards the front of that, and then we're going to use the two tower tumbling blocks as the podium, and then we're going to put our little graduate right behind there. And this is where I realized, like, wow, you can't even see the gown, but that's okay. Again, it was just more or less just to get an idea of it, and I wasn't the proudest of it anyway, so I wasn't really ready to show it off. So right here on the side of the podium, I'm just going to add little pieces of greenery, because you know they usually have like some type of greenery right there, and I really like this. It was very simple. You know, it's not one of my favorites that I've created, but I still think it's unique, original, and I still think it is cute. And there it is, guys. I really like it. All right, so then this is where I go in and I remove the diploma, and I'm gonna add it on the front of the podium. And I know that's not ideal, but I wanted it to be seen because you really couldn't see it behind there. And then what I decide to do is I take my paint marker and cover up where the little glue was on the gown, and then I decided to write CO 2026, which is supposed to be for a class of 2026, which I wish I had stopped myself and just cut it out with my Cricut Joy, because I do not have the best handwriting. But hey, you know, again, my mind wasn't there. But here we are, Lovies, in the final reveal. And if you are still here writing with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. And also don't forget to hit that hype button, Lovies. Once you hit the like button, swipe to the right on your mobile device or your tablet, and you can hit the hype button. So, and also, Lovies, let me know if you had a favorite of today. Again, I know I've been kind of bringing random stuff hint hint to you guys. But again, just trying to get something to put stuff together for you guys, just to get your juices flowing. So if you don't have a favorite, I totally understand. I just appreciate your time and being here with me. But I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments. If you don't have a favorite still, just let me know how you're doing. Just say hello, check in. I love to chat with you guys after each and every video. So please do your girl a solid and say hello, if nothing else. And let me know how you feel about terracotta teacup number 90. What I also like to do at the end of each video is show a few of the terracotta teacups that we have created thus far. If you go back to one of my later videos, like in late part of November of last year, you'll see more of what we created. I lost some footage, so I've only been able to put a few in at a time. If I can, I am trying to put together a compilation video, because I've had several people ask me where they can see them all together. But if you want to see a rundown of them, I put them after each video. In November or early December was the last time I was able to get the majority of them in, and these are the more recent ones that we have done. So if you wanted to do that, you could definitely go there and check those out. But if you have a favorite one of those, I want to hear about that as well. It has been a fun journey, and we're just 10 away. Just 10 away. All right, stick in there, ride with me, we got this going. All right, and don't forget to hit that like button, hype button. If you want to buy me a coffee, here's how you can do so. If you can't, that's okay. Just you being here is good enough for me. Hugs and kisses. XOXO. Bye.